if it's counting down because I haven't.
I'm going to pull up Facebook for us.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we just figure we're live? Hi, everybody. Right. Welcome to the QuarantineCast. This is a technical nightmare. Not because of Craig and Cody. They're all set. It's it's me.
We're live.
Because I have no internet. I have none. We're going live. But let's not bury the lead. Welcome to the QuarantineCast with Brian, Cody, and Craig for the first time officially, all three of us, and for the first time back since God only knows when. When did you go on paternity leave? Cody Goff is here. Hello, Cody.
Hi, Brian. I didn't do anything in September or October with you, so this is my grand return.
It is your grand return, and listen, we added the third head to the three-headed monster since you've been gone.
Dude, I love the three-headed whatever you just said.
The three-headed monster?
Sure, let's do it. Let's go, dude.
The gates of hell?
Yeah. It's basically Halloween. I used to do, back when I still worked and wasn't on paternity leave, I used to do a weekly radio hit with Craig at his station on talking about my podcast, and it was so fun. And I gotta tell you, Craig, you are the two people. You're my favorite people to broadcast with, or QuarantineCast, or whatever. So I'm super stoked because I knew you've been doing this, and I texted Brian, and I was just like, dude, can Craig just keep doing this? And I'm really thrilled that you're going to do it.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
I had talked to Craig about it the day before you texted me to ask that question.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have my name officially on the show. And in celebration of that, I've burst out a very special cup. I'm drinking a very crappy Natty Light seltzer, but I'm drinking it in a very special glass. And this is for you guys. It is my Craig glass, because Craig is now officially a part of the show.
Craig is now officially a part of the show.
Jai Bonnie, whatever that says.
I forget what. Actually, no, wait. I taped it on the bottom. It says, "I have good hope."
All right. I'm trying to pull up the Facebook page on my phone. Yeah. All the icons are different.
It's working. We're on. I see us all. Hi,
go.
Sally. Hi, Christine. Hi, Jean.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I think I put the phone number up. Cody, this is new since last time. That we have a phone number that people can call and talk to us on the QuarantineCast. It's up there. Look, now I know everybody's been nervous. Let's get this out of the way. I was doing my show on WTMJ from 6 to 8, and at about 6:50, I lost internet at my house. Now, according to Xfinity, it'll be up and they're working very hard to fix it. Very hard, and it should be back by 11 o'clock tonight.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, that didn't help me broadcasting from Milwaukee, even though I'm broadcasting from my house in Milwaukee. So I texted. First of all, this is how invested I was in that show. My first thought was, I got to let the guys know there's going to be a problem with the QuarantineCast. We got to figure this out. So I did the show. We ended up using the same software that we use through my desktop and my nice mic and everything. Mm-hmm. We did that through the phone, and the show went okay. And now I'm doing this through the same. We're using the same software, obviously, that we always do, but I'm on the phone, so it's a little trickier for me to move things around. And Craig, you seemed not perturbed, but a little antsy. Like, we'll take care of it. We'll just host it. Which would have been nice, but we got it going. So,
did you say me?
Yeah,
I didn't say any of those things. That was all Cody. I said none of it. Can you reread your text? I just sat there and waited for a solution to be figured out.
Oh no! When we started, when we were all here on the.
Oh, okay. That was me. But I just said I would take the hosting of the internet from you so you could be on your phone.
No, well, we're here, so that's good, right?
Yes, it is.
See me and you can hear me.
Cody tried to drop you from the show tonight, though. That was him via text.
I did notice that quickly.
Yeah.
For a guy who hasn't, are you there, Cody?
I'm there.
This was a coup almost.
Because his picture is not. Is his videos moving on your end, Craig?
Yes, you're good. He's doing things.
All right, because all I see is a still picture of Cody.
Right.
Well, Brian, no, I think I am broadcasting just fine.
The rest of the show, Cody, do not stop. Do not stop.
Craig, is it,
He better commit to this. I love this.
so the sexual element of it is
Right. I mean, you and I, yeah. I understand there's tension.
No, there's no tension here. I can't believe we're actually on. Listen, this is what I said to the guy in Milwaukee. We're here, and we're going to call attention to it. But all right, so
we're a
Craig,
dingus.
you're drinking a Natty Light out of your Craig glass. What are you drinking, Cody? What was in that bowl of gruel you were downing?
Tortellines. Got some chicken tortellines because I had to, have dinner ready at about 1 minute before we started. But I ate it. There was food that I ate. I ate it.
That's good. And what are you drinking? Do you have a cocktail?
Nah, I'm doing a water thing. But I gotta say, first year ever, I've really gotten into Oktoberfest beers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Yeah. What's your go-to brand?
Oh boy. Revolution and Buckle Down make two very fine Oktoberfests locally. I had Debbie bring me up another 6-pack of Urban South Oktoberfest that I enjoy. I tried a bunch of different new ones this year. I was doing Decktoberfest. I don't know if you follow me on the Instagram, but I was doing, since we couldn't go to Oktoberfest, I was doing Decktoberfest, where I would try different ones on the deck. A new Black Horizon, a brewery out in the western suburbs, not too far from you, Cody the G.
Very nice.
They had Oktoberfest, which was very good. Pollyanna makes a good one. I was all over the place with Oktoberfest beers this year.
I'm also a fan of sampling all the different varieties. I gotta say, actually, I'm looking on Untapped. Have you ever heard of this app? There's a app that lets you check in beer places, basically, like a Foursquare, but you can check in either a beer or a brewery or wherever you bought it, and you can rate it. So I'm using that to kind of keep track of what I've had. And Buckle Down was my least favorite Oktoberfest.
Really?
Actually, yeah, I didn't. It tasted more like a light beer. It didn't have that that weight, that Marzen kind of spice. I love craft breweries. I love Revolution. I love Goose Island. But weirdly, my favorite one is Leinenkugel's.
Oh, I didn't have Leinenkugel this year.
It just hits the spot. I'll say Two Brothers is also really good, but it's a little on the heavy side. So you got to kind of be in the mood. It's a little more malty, but yeah, Leinenkugel's, man, every time. And Goose's is good too. But I also have some news regarding Revolution and their Deepwood series.
Oh. Yeah.
So my buddy Icebag John lives basically next door to Revolution Brewing, turns out, in the city. And they released Thundertaker about a month ago, their Deepwood series. And last Friday, actually, they released a few varieties. They released Death's Tar, Cafe Death, and Maple Death. Now, Death's Tar I've had. Cafe Death, I have a couple in my fridge. They're not hard to find, but Maple Death I'd never had. And there was a brewery-only release, so you had to get it at Revolution. So I sent Icebag John, and he went and picked some up for me, and I'm going to see him tomorrow.
Nice.
But they also were selling, I am a total sucker for limited edition, like hard-to-find brews. And they had two varieties of Death Star that they were selling in crowlers only.
Really?
One was aged 8 months and one was aged like 3 years, but the one that was 8 months looked like it had better flavor tones for me. So tomorrow I'm gonna pick up John. I'm gonna get a crowler and a 4-pack of Maple Death, and we are gonna just have a little hipster party. It's gonna be a good time.
You're having a party? You're having a get together at your place?
No, it's one person party of me drinking and then him bringing me beer that I'm really picking up from him, but whatever.
What do better flavored talons, you said? What do they look like?
Better flavored talons?
What word did you say? You said better flavor what? You saw it? You could see the flavor?
He did seem kind of beer snobby, didn't he?
Well, I just didn't know how he
was talking about the flavor profile.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know what the word is that I...
You
said you saw flavor. That's the highlight for me, and I just wanted to know what it looked like.
Well, I did. I saw words, Craig. I read words, and then the words meant things.
Let's back the tape. Where's the person who does that? We need the person. You said you saw the flavor of the 8-month and it looked better than the one of 3 years, and I was amazed by your ability.
One of the beers had notes of, I don't remember, it was like chocolate and cinnamon or something, and then the other one had, I don't know, caramel or whatever, but that kind of thing. It would be like, oh, kind of like notes of vanilla or caramel, peanut butter, cinnamon, whatever it is, and the combination spoke to me with the 8-month varietal.
I am a sucker for that kind of thing, as evidenced by what I am drinking tonight. Debbie was in New Orleans last week with Molly, and Urban South is one of my favorite breweries down there. And every Thursday they were releasing beers. And last week they released 2 beers. One was an Almond Joy Cream Ale, and one was a Snickers Cream Ale. And I just forwarded these posts to Debbie, and I go, man, I wish I knew somebody in New Orleans. Well, these things sell out fast, and I had no illusion that they were going to get it for me. Lo and behold, I get a text on Friday, hey, we got you the beer. So I am drinking a Urban South Goodies Almond Joy Cream Ale. This is the first time I've tried it. This is frightening. It tastes, and I love Almond Joys, it tastes just like an Almond Joy.
No.
The coconut flavor is there. You get the little bit of almond, chocolatey flavor.
Sure.
It's creamy. I'm out of my mind.
What
Craig,
does it look like?
Drank something better than Natty Light?
What does the flavor look like, out of curiosity? Does it look as tasty as you just described it?
What does it look like?
Yeah, well, now Cody can see the flavors in it. So, Cody, can you describe to me what flavors you're seeing?
I see yellow. I see yellow.
I shouldn't be on the show, by the way. You guys are beer snobs officially, but like polite, nice ones. But you are fancy beer people.
This yellow looks like if I'd been dehydrated and still had to go pee. This is the yellow. I don't think Urban South would want me describing their beer in that context, but it tastes phenomenal.
Wait, let me do my beer. I have to do my beer seance, Craig, if I want to see the flavors. So let me see what I can do.
You have to have the light. Turn it down.
I see an urban flavor.
You're joking? We have to do this at a beer tasting. We have to.
I see a southern flavor.
This has to happen.
Next month we are going to have Goose Island on before the release of the Bourbon County Stouts.
Yeah,
and so we will hold on, gentlemen. This might be exciting news. My internet might be coming back.
Yay.
Very exciting news.
If that's the case, I still may just want to do it on the phone because it's such a nightmare. Nope, no luck. But so we are going to do this, Greg. We're going to but if you want to warm up, we could all do a Natty Ice tasting.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think that makes sense.
Is that what you're drinking, Natty Ice again?
Yeah, it's the house rules. I still have the case, so I keep drinking the same thing. I didn't know we had to vary it up every single week. I didn't know we had to bring in.
Don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. This came home and I was waiting, and Molly has been hounding me for the last couple of days. Have you tried the candy beer?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because they had a Sour Patch Kids one too. That Debbie bought a 4-pack for her and Molly. So they had they had some Sour Patch Kid beer.
That's awesome.
It's fun. But now I've realized I don't have any more room for different beers. Because I had to go out last week and get the ones for the Stone event that I did last week. And now I've got all these that came back from New Orleans for me. And so
look, after the show today, I'm just going to take my case of Miller High Life and light it on fire outside and be ready for the show next week.
No, you listen. We need a guy, as you said. Cody's much more of a beer snob than I am.
No.
I like good beer, but I don't poo-poo anybody for drinking whatever they want.
I don't know if I'm a beer snob. I mean, my tastes are questionable. So John and Jesse have raved about Allagash Black. Do you remember this? Allagash White, one of my favorite beers. And I like stouts, so I figure Allagash Black is the white whale I'm hunting because I couldn't find it anywhere. And I go into a Binny's about a month ago here in the burbs, and they got Allagash Black. Cool. Get a 4-pack. After 2 sips, I dumped it out. It's one of the worst beers I've ever had. It was like just totally undrinkable. And John and Jesse raved about it, and these are like beer guys. So yeah, I don't know if you could say snob. It because clearly my tastes are not as refined as some of the beer dudes. And I checked on Tapped, and I had checked in one time a 4-pack of Allagash Saison or something else. And I wrote in that Untapped review that I hated it, and I gave it to my wife because I wouldn't drink it. So apparently I don't like Allagash as a brewery, but Allagash White, chef's kiss.
I think the fact that you're putting reviews on Untapped confirms Craig's.
And I thought so. I didn't want to go there, but I thought so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you guys on it. Hey, all right, enough beer talk. Craig, I'm sure you're interested to know, as I am. What's fatherhood doing to you, Cody? How are you doing? You've got an offspring now. You've sired a child.
Yeah, dude, he's the best. I love it. Fatherhood's so good. Like, yeah, it's good. It's great. I'm really happy. I mean, granted, I'm not working, so I have that privilege because I'm on paternity leave, very long paternity leave. But no, dude, I'm like, it's awesome. I'm so happy. Let's see. Last couple days, he's been a little colicky, so he's like, oh, I'm not really gonna sleep unless someone's holding me. So I was up with him from about 2 or 3 to 10-ish this morning. I don't know. It's weird. Actually, the first month was extraordinarily easy. Like he slept pretty well. His wake ups were really brief. Like he'd wake up after a couple hours, scream for a minute, you feed him, and then he passes out for another few hours. Like, no problem. So now his waking time is getting a little longer. He's just really uncomfortable, so it's harder for him to sleep. So the toughness is starting to set in. And it's just one more reason why I'm just gonna rail against like US Family Medical Leave Act policies and stuff, because a lot of people get like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's like those first few weeks aren't that hard. Like those are comparatively, right? Like you really need that second or third month off to kind of like transition from them like not doing anything to being a human. There is actually, Christine just said in the chat, there's static or somebody keeps typing.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
Is that? Yeah, I was going to ask if you're hearing some kind of whole crackle.
Yeah, we are.
It's not me.
No, I'm not. Show us your hands. There is a lot of static, Cindy. I think it might be the cell phone. My guess is the cell phone can't handle our audio volume.
I don't think. Yeah, I think that.
Oh, do you have headphones for your phone, Brian?
What?
Do you have headphones for your phone?
Yeah. Let me try that.
I would do that. I should do it.
I had a plan so I wouldn't lose power.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I was made fun of earlier on in the show for saying we would host it on our computers. Saying.
I mean, I was down with your plans for.
It would have been the same thing. I still would have been on the phone.
Yes, you would have been. And hey, it fixed.
But Craig would have felt really important.
What would have felt
Which
important?
Which is all I'm looking for. I would have personally felt important because I would have saved the day technology-wise, which is literally what I wake up each day wanting to do.
We all understand. Cody wasn't here last week. Last week, when we announced that you were joining the show permanently and you made your demands, it was clear that you have aspirations to not only take over, but then to oust either one or both of us from the program. So it's not.
Yeah,
this is not.
I mean,
this
we're
is
weeks
not
away.
something that is secretive.
No, I know. We're weeks away. It'll happen. It's going to be like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I will figure it out.
Which one are you?
I assume I'm the conniving contestant in that situation.
Oh, you've watched them.
Yeah, I watch that show
I
constantly.
have no frame of reference for this.
You guys have never seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? No, like, you're going to deny Noonan? Come on. You've seen an episode, a season, something.
I have never seen more than 2 minutes of any of it.
That is a lie.
Wait a minute. Why would I pick that thing to lie about?
I don't know.
Things that
That's
I'm
a great
very
question.
forthcoming about, whether here or on the radio, I'm very forthcoming, and yet now you will accuse me of lying over something as insignificant as watching The Bachelor and or or The Bachelorette?
I'm as confused as you are as to why you're denying the fact that you've seen at least a season, maybe Juan Pablo's. I don't know which season you watched.
I don't know what that means. I know from reading the paper, there's supposedly some sort of big deal happening this year.
Claire. Yeah, she's been crazy.
Who's Claire?
Did everybody leave?
She's the Bachelorette. She got in a fight with this one of the guys who then left. There was a naked, it was like a strip dodgeball thing that happened. Everyone just stopped.
Was she the one naked, or were the boys naked?
The boys got naked, and there was this big thing on social media about how this would never happen if roles were reversed. If it was a guy bachelor and female contestants, they'd never do a naked dodgeball. One of the guys got upset, said it was demeaning, talked to the Bachelorette about it, and eventually he got thrown off the show because there were a lot of accusations being thrown all over the place. Something about being a bad father. I mean, stuff happened.
When you type in Claire, the third autofill is Bachelorette, Claire Bachelorette.
It's a popular show that you guys should probably catch from time to time. People watch it. They like it.
I know people like it. I know it's very popular.
Yeah.
I have no desire.
I have seen episodes. I dated a girl in the 2010s that was really into that and watched it religiously. So I've seen a couple episodes. I remember who was the really cute girl from Downers Grove or whatever? Allie?
That sounds right.
Allie was good. Yeah. Maybe not Downers Grove, but because remember, I was living in the city when that season happened. So all the suburbs were like kind of the same to me. Now I'm starting to get a feel. Like I did a lot of errands today. I was in Wheaton. I was in Glen Ellen. Wow. I'm starting to put the pieces together. I know Elmhurst. Like we're getting there. But Tinley, maybe she was from Tinley Park. It doesn't matter. Or maybe Allie was against some girl named Tinley. I don't know. It's impossible.
A lot of things could have happened. Tinley with an I.
It doesn't matter. There was some like really, really cute, like wholesome girl that didn't win the Bachelorette, or didn't win the Bachelor, and so she became the Bachelorette in the 20 early.
The reason it's a valuable show, and you guys should check it out. It's humorous to watch everyone get emotional and cry when they get kicked off the show and say how they were trying to find love. I find that, falseness in their statement so utterly entertaining that I watch every week, every single season, because everyone's just trying to find love. No one's doing that. No one's finding love on the show. Yeah.
Didn't the first Bachelorette, isn't she married? Aren't they? I see them pop up every once in a while. What's her name? Trista? I know the name Trista.
I don't know that one. That's impressive, Brian, since you love the show and you lie about how big of a fan you are of it.
Dude, again, why would I lie about that?
I don't know.
Because I'm not. The most I've seen The Bachelor is the parodies on SNL.
Right. They're good.
So I'm guessing that's how it works. I know there's roses involved. I know there's a mansion.
Yes.
And I know at some point somebody's going in a windmill or a hot tub and banging. Right? Is that that's based? So I haven't seen the show, but I know the show.
There's a fantasy suite at the end.
Like a Sybaris?
I guess, kind of. It's not. I think the idea of it is that you take the top 3 contestants one at a time for a evening date that doesn't end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So everybody gets to go to the fantasy suite?
Just the top 3. They build up to the fantasy suite dates. And then I don't know why I'm explaining The Bachelor and The Bachelorette to you both. We've derailed as a show. But yes, you take the final 3 contestants one at a time for an evening if they so choose. It's actually the first part of the date ends with the key, and then they decide if they want to spend the rest of the evening together.
Really?
And then I think everybody does stuff.
Sounds like sex on TV.
It's kind of. It
sounds like that sells. Sounds like it sells.
I would assume it does.
It's a good way to get people to watch the TV is when you put people having sex on it.
Yeah. There's a Netflix dating show. Did either of you guys watch this?
Why? No, God, no.
No.
Awful.
All right.
Are you watching anything for like Halloween? That's the least scary thing I can think of.
Yeah. What's your theory?
My theory is Betty picks all the shows at your house.
Well, yes, all the ones that we watch together. If I watch something and she doesn't, I'm getting her to watch Cobra Kai though. I'm very excited about that.
I like that show.
Dude, I do too. I think it's great. I think the Danny character is weird though. I think he's kind of a jerk.
He's not. Yes, he's definitely not a hero. If I look distracted, it's because it seems like the internet has come back on.
Okay.
So I'm
We're
trying to
on-
see if I'm trying to see if I can connect with this. It's gonna
We're
be a
on.
nightmare.
Oh, now we'll have two Brians. This will be good. There
Well,
definitely
we'll
won't
see.
be feedback.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. We're
one
on season 5 of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Phenomenal
There you go.
season.
See, there you
good.
go.
So good. I got all up in arms because the official Star Trek Twitter channels kept tweeting about how Star Trek Discovery is about to have Star Trek's first transgender character. Which, like, okay, that's great. It's a lie. We literally just yesterday watched an entire episode where Riker falls for like androgynous person. And it's the whole episode is an allegory about not judging trans people, and like that. I don't know. It's really well done. And there's another race, the Trill, that is also androgynous or whatever, has no gender, but it's fine. So then, but then I was gonna complain about it on Twitter, and then somebody was like, "Just let people have this. Let people have this victory. It's all we need for the trans." And I was like, "Okay, fine. We'll just let that happen." But anyway, Star Trek has a long history of having progressive values that actually go beyond 2020. It actually happened to have started in the 60s with the original Star Trek. But let's just bury that whole history of like amazing television and great storytelling and good science fiction for marketing. But that's fine. That's where we're at.
Yeah, I learned similar lessons from the last episode of The Bachelorette. So I think both of us, we drew a lot out of the shows we're watching.
Dude, Star Trek is so good. Star Trek: The Next Generation, seasons 3 through 6, probably just every episode, you're just like, this is good science fiction. It is very good storytelling. There are allegories. You think about, you like reflect on like the world, and it's all like sociology. And you see people in roles that are like unexpected or uncommon. And it's just, dude, come on. Dude, Geordi's blind. That's like a whole thing. Their chief engineer is blind, and there's a whole episode where like there's a race that uses eugenics to like filter out people that are blind, and then because of the visor technology in his eyes, he comes up with a solution to save their entire planet. And he's like, how ironic is it that if I was born on your planet, I wouldn't have been born because you would have just like geneticed me out of existence. Mm-hmm. But because I was born blind and because this technology was developed, we can adapt that to save your entire civilization.
Right.
Dude, that's Star Trek.
Yeah, your mind is blown just like mine was when Claire got to be the Bachelorette at 39. It shows you that love doesn't stop in your 20s or early 30s. It goes through to the end of your 30s. Allegory, Bachelorette, incredible.
Just the end of your 30s, though. Just the end of your 30s. 39 was the cutoff.
At 40, you're celibate. I think that's how it works, according to that show.
No, did it air before she turned 40? If not, then I think that actually cuts off the whole.
You know, I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay. I'll have to check back.
Yeah, you're not far off.
Aren't you the editor of the Bachelorette Wikipedia, Craig?
I am. I just make stuff up, though. None of it's accurate.
Oh, okay.
I just Wikipedia it.
Do you really enjoy this show, or is this something you're like hate watching? Something that you feel you have to watch because you don't want FOMO? What's going on?
You know who actually got me into it? Gary Meyer. Gary Meyer got into Gary Meyer. He got into it on a season. We had one of the contestants who got kicked off on the show, and he gave her a rose or something. But he did, and it was the same reason. It was the humor of the pretend version of the show that exists in everyone's brain while they're on it, of saying like that was love, and I felt like I finally connected for the first time in my life, and then she put me in a limousine and sent me away. In every single episode, someone's going to cry, and I enjoy it. I don't know why.
Really?
I do.
Wow.
We can move on.
I know the only person I know who watches it more than you is Molly. Like she and her friends will watch it together via FaceTime or something.
Let me in on that FaceTime, Molly.
Yeah, she might. She survived the hurricane last night.
There you go.
It was a hurricane?
I called her, I don't know if Cody knows. I think she's living in New Orleans again. And so last night, Zeta came blowing through. And I was driving to a gig because I left the house. That's a whole other story. I left the house. I did a show. It was crazy. But I was driving up and I was talking to her. And then she tried to FaceTime me while I was driving. I was like, Molly, I can't FaceTime. She's like, it looked like Blair Witch because her face was really close. She's like, but it's getting kind of scary here. And I was like, whoa, man, okay. I said, as soon as I get to the venue, because that's what you call a place where you go to do a show, a venue. Only one place, Craig. I only went looking at one place.
Did
Only
you?
went to one place for the show, by the way.
Okay.
Because Cody, I don't know if you've been following this. Craig insists that every story I tell involves multiple venues.
Well, now that's not exactly what I said. Because then you came on the show one time and you're like, everybody goes to different places, Craig. There's nothing special about that. You go to the same type of location multiple times in your store. You go to 3 Binnies, you go to 4 Burger
Correct.
Kings, 6 hospitals. This is how you do an evening, Noonan.
No, one Burger King, two multiple,
Sure.
2 urgent care places, but one Burger King.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. You'll
And a
notice
number of-
it's a theme.
A number of jewels. That is correct. I will go to multiple jewels if I need to. But anyway, I call her when I get there, and the storm had kind of moved over. So now she was in the eye of the hurricane. And she's like, it's really weird. I'm going to open the door and show you. The sky was like pinkish yellow and everything was completely calm. It was very, very weird. And then I had to go in and do the show. But she never lost power for more than a couple seconds. She's one of the very few people in New Orleans that still has power.
Wow.
No real damage to her property. Everything that she had put in the back was still there. You know, her patio furniture didn't fly away, and she had put her garbage cans back behind the fence. So she rode it out. It was Barbara says she was at the venue last night.
Yeah, I just saw that. How did it go, Barbara? I was going to ask Noonan, but now I want Barbara to tell us.
You should ask. You can ask Barbara. Sure, she'll.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a phone number, 312-870-0023.
Yeah, Barbara, if you want to call in, 312.
Call in, tell us how Noonan did.
0023. Let me preface this. Barbara will tell you how the show went. I will give you the layout of the show because it was quite unusual. So it's going to actually stream next Thursday. So it was filmed as like a TV show kind of deal. There were 3 acts and me. And I get there and they're like, all right, here's how it's going to work. Every act will walk out and do a sound check. And in between, we'll wipe down the microphones and we'll sterilize everything and it'll be fine. I was like, all right. So First guy goes on and, I'm in the back looking over some stuff because I had written some brand new COVID jokes for the,
Wow.
Yeah, sure. Because I haven't been on stage in 7 months.
Yeah.
And so, of course, if you haven't been on stage in 7 months, first time you should probably do new material because that's how comics work. That's
how you succeed.
Oh, it's definitely how you succeed. Look at me now talking to you guys on a cell phone because my internet went out. So it's, because I had texted the guy, I go, hey man, should I bring my own microphone? I said, not to sound like a weirdo. You go, no. So like when it was my turn, I walked out and they say, oh, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Noonan. And by ladies and gentlemen, they have 12 people in this giant theater. The theater's got a seat. It was the Rouse Center for the Arts. It's got a seat at least 300 to 500 people.
Wow.
There's 12 people in there. And they're all mixed up, which is good. And they're spread out, which is good. So I walk out and they all politely clap. Everybody, oh, hey, it's Brian Noonan. And I just say something. I make fun of a guy's mask in the front row. And then I leave. And
that was your set?
No, that was the sound check for my set. Which is the one of the biggest things I've adhered to throughout my stand-up career was don't let them see you until you're starting. Because there's nothing worse than going out and then leaving and starting again. But most of the people who were there last night have come to other tapings like this, so they know the deal. So I walk off, and the stage manager does the thing with the clapperboard, scene 3, click, and he scurries off the stage. And then from the back, I hear the camera guy like counting down. He counts from 5 real loud. And then they start cheering, the 12 people. Cheering, we'll do it like this, cheering.
Yeah.
But they were very nice. And so I went out and I only had to do 15 minutes. So my new stuff, my freshly written COVID jokes, which I write it and then Hi guys.
And he throws it in your face.
Yeah. No, that's all they are.
the new stuff got a couple laughs. You know, I'm not going to say I killed, but in front of 12 people.
I know this is not at all the platform, Noonan. How terrible is it to ask you to do a joke, to give us a COVID joke?
Oh, it's awful.
Okay. But then I didn't ask that.
Here, I said, one of them was, you know, how excited I was to be there because this is the first time I've worn hard pants in 7 months.
That's good.
And I go, I'm not a fan. I said, I know that COVID has been horrible for all of us on a lot of ways, but I got to be honest, I can get behind pajamas 24/7.
These are good.
This was, you know, then I went on to talk about how a Zoom call is basically an entire body mullet because I'm business up top, but party down below.
Ooh. Wait a minute.
I don't know. It sounds like you killed.
Were you filming a Netflix special?
Yeah, he was. This was the Noonan special.
This is your Netflix special.
Yeah.
Well, it's my Notflix special.
Nice.
Thank you. I will get a copy of the tape and I will put it on the YouTube channel.
Okay, good.
For those of you who are really,
I love the body mullet concept. That is absolutely accurate. That a body mullet is the clothing we wear whenever we do anything professional in quarantine.
Right. It's business in the front, party in the back.
Well done, Noonan. Yeah.
And then talked about how Debbie and I have run out of things to say. That in mid-June we just looked at each other and went, "Yeah, I got nothing." And that she is the worst improviser because I tried to keep conversation going. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, but she's the worst improviser. She can't yes and to save her life. And so, you know, now it's like Quest for Fire in our house. We just grunt at each other.
Well, I saw her Facebook post about that, Brian. You gotta stop just throwing out suggestions for a scene. You know, that I think that's your problem is you just like she walks in the room and you just look at her and you're just like, 2 doctors in a Starbucks. And you know,
she always says gynecologist. Not working.
I'm just saying.
I think there's probably some meaning behind what she's doing there, Noonan.
Could be. Could be.
Probably a message.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Barbara said it was different. I called at 2 p.m. and got my seat after you mentioned it on TMJ. But you asked about dogs. I had my dog mask on and you didn't call on me when you asked about dogs. I'm sorry, Barbara. It was, you know, the lights were in my eyes. There was 12 people. I couldn't really tell what was on anybody's mask.
Don't forgive him, Barbara. Never forgive him.
I apologize. Come to another show. I did some dog bits. I did did a bit about how I lost the weight because I was tired of breaking toilet seats. Fantastic. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it all here.
Well, I did the first couple here, but
okay.
That was the new stuff. But it was fun. It was fun for me because they were a great 12 people. To be honest, they were laughing. Everybody was playing along. There was a guy who looked very grumpy up front, so I was picking on him. It was, so they were really nice. I had a good time and got to roll with some things and improvise some things on my own. And I actually added a couple lines that I'm like, oh, I got to keep that one because I just did it last night, and that was that.
Is that the smallest thing you've ever played, by the way, Noonan? Smallest theater, smallest crowd?
Not the smallest crowd, but the smallest crowd in the biggest venue.
Okay.
But that was
wow.
They do it this way because of COVID. They're like, they want some people in there, but they don't want, because I thought it was us doing stand-up in front of nobody. And that's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
I've done it. The smallest I've done is 2 people. That was like, it was either in a bar or a bowling alley doing.
Yeah, we need that story.
You know what? You can lump all of those horrible one-nighters together into,
okay.
It's a payday. Mm-hmm. And it's how you become a comedian, I guess.
By the way, Barbara said that she felt bad for the first guy. I now desperately need us to have that guy on as a guest. I don't know what happened with the first guy who was on the show. She said, you did great. The guy before you was good, but the first guy she felt bad for, we need him on the show ASAP.
I did not watch the first guy, to be honest.
Very diplomatic of you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I didn't. Nice. I was in talking to
Nor are you watching The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I get it.
I was streaming The Bachelorette. And I actually streamed it while I was on stage. Barbara's nice to not say that, but I was watching The
Mhm.
Bachelorette while
Good.
I'm so much on autopilot and so above all of this that I was actually watching The Bachelorette while sitting on a stool and drinking a mimosa, and I just was autopiloting everything. It was by rote. It was as if I was doing Mary Had a Little Lamb.
See, now I believe it. This all makes sense. This I believe.
Yeah, that's how I work. That's the craziness. Barbara was I remember you, Barbara, in the bright pink sweatshirt. Yes, I remember. You were sitting if I was looking, you were to my left. On the aisle.
There you go.
See? That's pretty good. I got a good memory.
You texted me a couple days ago, and you were like, "Yeah, I got a show on Wednesday." And I remember at one point you'd done some kind of comedy thing on the internet or something. Maybe you didn't. Didn't you do some Zoom comedy thing? No, you never did.
No.
Okay, fine. All right, well, whatever. I didn't know it was going to be in person because I was asked about it by my wife, and she was like, he's doing comedy in person. And I was like, I don't think so. And that doesn't sound like Brian. You turned over a new leaf in my absence.
No, I turned down a gig last weekend that would have been 2 nights in Kenosha. One, because Wisconsin is out of its mind with Corona.
Are they worse than us? Because we're going through the roof too now.
Yeah, you're things are rough all over.
DuPage County just locked back down, and Rockford just locked back down. So all my friends and family, basically, except you guys are in good areas, right?
No, Chicago's shutting back down.
No, Chicago, they cured it. There's nothing anymore.
I mean, all the bars and restaurants are shut down, right? Yeah, Trump is. He's got a different opinion.
I got the DuPage County email that was like, okay, well, like it was funny because the Village of Lombard's sending these emails, and I get their like newsletter, and at the top of every one, it's like, okay, our case rate is, I don't know what it was, like whatever percent, and if it's 1% higher for like 3 days in a row, we got to go on extra lockdown. So they kept doing it, like every day they would send one being like, so we're probably going to go on lockdown, like this kind of like very nasty word of passive aggressive. So then we go on lockdown, and I get the lockdown, manifesto or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, now bars will close early at 11 p.m. And there will be no indoor seating in bars, but only outdoor seating. And it's like no party buses. I'm just like, how much are you quelling the spread with these measures exactly?
I think the party buses is significant. I think there's a lot less spread.
The bar thing?
The party buses alone, that was like 30%.
How many party buses are rolling out near you?
Now, if they did that in Wrigleyville, yes,
right.
That would cut the case rate in half, right? Like in a day. Yeah. But out here, I don't know. I don't see a lot of party buses. Though I live near a school, so an elementary school, so maybe they're not supposed to drive by. I don't know. I'm just saying that the measures.
No, I think that's just pedophiles.
Hold on, yeah. I'm gonna pull up these measures. You tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how. Oh God, where am I gonna find it? I gotta look for it.
My wife just brought me another beer. This one is the Snickers Cream Ale.
Ooh.
So these are the 2 candy beers that I got from New Orleans. So I'll tell you in a minute if it tastes like a Snickers.
I'm gonna open another Natural Light.
I hope
that's all I have.
Okay. Yeah, bars, tables should be 6 feet apart. No standing or congregating indoors or outdoors while waiting for a table or exiting. Okay, if you're with a party, whatever. I don't know. No dancing or standing indoors. How do you go indoors if you can't stand indoors? It's I don't know.
I mean, you just can't. I guess you just can't mill about.
Yeah, it's just like gaming in casinos closed at 11 p.m. Like basically, they're like a bunch of places closed 2 hours early. I don't know.
I don't totally understand. Yeah, I get what your point is, Cody, and I don't totally understand the time thing. Like, does coronavirus not wake up during the day? Is it lazy? Like, why does it matter if it closes at 11?
It's like Gremlins. You can't feed it after midnight.
Okay.
So they figure if they close the bars at 11, then, COVID won't be able to eat because everybody will be home.
Yeah.
And that's how that works.
I think they figure that after 11, if you're still out drinking after 11, you're going to make poor choices.
You're not going to socially distance is what you're saying?
No, and you're going to take your mask off and try to mac on some honey.
Okay.
Is that what kids do? They still mac on honeys?
I think so. Yeah,
All right.
that's a new app.
Oh,
Aggressively.
Honey Macker?
Aggressively.
Hold on,
Honey
I'm gonna grab
Macker.
my phone and download it right now.
Yeah. Are you guys on Honey Macker? It's great.
Honey Macker's fantastic.
We're
that's
trademarking the
that's-
app
I
name
mean-
Honey Macker. I'm gonna
Yeah, please
Google
do.
that
Please
right
do it.
now.
And if it's not, trademark it immediately.
Honey Macker.
Honey Macker from the Brian Noonan Show. I can't wait for us to have the first app.
Did you mean Honey Maker? There is a Facebook
God.
search for people. Wait, there's a girl named. There are several
on.
women named Honey.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can get the Twitter Honey Macker. See if that's already taken.
All right. At
Honey
Macker.
Macker's already taken on Instagram.
Yeah, it's already taken on Twitter too.
Wow.
I know that's terrible.
This took
That
a
is
weird
very
turn.
sad, quite frankly.
This took a weird turn. This guy only has 1 follower and he's only following 11 people though, so we might be able to buy Honey Macker out.
What a loser! That
I know.
person has no value as a person. That's what I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're coming in hot after paternity leave.
Hey
How
man,
many-
I'm still on paternity leave. I just decided to come back to the show.
I'm glad you gave up. I think for this exercise, you've been on paternity leave enough.
I want to follow the thread though. How many followers do you need to be worthwhile as a human, Cody?
Yeah, Cody.
17,000.
70,000.
So we're all
17.
worthless?
17,000. So I need like 2 more on Twitter. How many am I up to?
All right.
I have a lot of robots on there working
Yeah,
for
there you
me,
go. There you
helping
go.
me out. I don't pay for followers,
Wow.
but I pay for engagement. I have 13.7 thousand followers.
Well, you're
Are you
close.
really?
You're close to having value as a human.
Yeah.
Now, Cody
Wow.
Cody hustles on the Twitter.
I have bots.
He's a valuable follower.
I don't see
I have
Cody
bots
on
working for me.
Twitter that often.
I have barely tweeted during paternity leave because I wanted to disconnect from the internet a little bit more than usual. Which is why I wasn't doing the quarantine cast, because I was like, I want to be present. I don't want like my brain to be in 12 places. Now that said, I spent the last 3 days online shopping to get stuff to finalize my podcast studio. But some things, you got to use the internet as a tool. Actually, I checked Facebook last week and I hadn't checked it since before the baby was born. So it had been basically full 2 months. Somebody wrote on my wall at like the end of September that he listened to my podcast. And I was like, hey, thanks. Just saw this. Sorry.
Did your brain get better when you were off social media for 2 months? Like, were you happier, healthier? Was your life better? Was there music playing behind you at times?
I mean, I'm still on Twitter like a decent amount, just kind of mindlessly scrolling. I will say that I don't think that like nothing good ever comes of it, right? Like,
Right.
Like, have you ever checked social media and then like turn it off and you're like, I'm in a better mood? Like, no. It doesn't happen. And I'm really, really not okay with like all the data collection and stuff. Like I banned my wife from posting pictures of our kid on Instagram, which she has violated twice, by the way.
Has she? Because I haven't seen, and I was even talking last night or Tuesday night on WTMJ about baby names and stuff, and I said, "Oh, my friend just had a baby," but I didn't mention your son's name at all. I've been respecting that.
Thank you. Yeah. His name hasn't been on the gram. A couple
That's
pictures.
good.
I guess that's all right. But yeah, I don't want it to be like a data collection thing. And then you got to think about like, wait, you have a podcast with your wife, Craig?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Betty was the most popular guest, co-host, whatever you want to call her, on the Craig Collins show, and so she was. I'm not like people
I
love her.
believe it.
There
She's
were
awesome.
drops. There were drops where callers would call in and just say everybody loves Betty and hang up. That's a thing that happened. So we're doing this thing 2 or 3 times a week now because Betty tells me when to podcast, and I hit all the buttons and do it, where we just talk about nonsense. And some of it's relationship stuff, and sometimes I try to make sure that I throw a topic at her that she's not expecting, and I try to avoid the shoes. That's pretty much the show.
That's probably best.
What
Mhm.
shoes?
She throws shoes, Cody. She throws chanclas. It's called Avoiding the Chancla from the Craig Collins Show. It is available on all of the places that you can get a podcast. We've done 2 episodes so far. Another one is dropping tomorrow. Thank you, Barbara, for helping out.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You waste no time.
I do not.
Good for you.
Thank you, buddy. Anyway.
Anyway.
What else?
So what? How did you talk to your wife about this violation of your privacy or your son's privacy?
Oh, I was just like, yeah, I mean, like he's so little and his name's not on there that it's like, okay, And I get that there's a lot of baby pictures, but there's this like inherent peer pressure from other people because she goes on Instagram and it's all our friends and all their kids and they're cute and they get to share. But like, I don't like any kind of social media. Did you guys watch The Social Dilemma? The Netflix?
I did.
Started it.
So I watched the first 20 minutes and then told her a little bit about it. And then she's like, we should watch it. I would like to watch it. So we'll watch the rest later. But I've interviewed Jaron Lanier. I interviewed him for Curiosity Daily last December. Jaron is the VR creator, the guy with the crazy dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that wrote the book, 10 Reasons You Should Quit Social Media Right Now. And even though I interviewed him about VR, he got into the book because he's really into that topic. I don't like the idea of having my kid tied up with a quantifiable like validation from other people. Like, I don't want to post a picture of my baby and then like have that connected to me thinking about how many likes it might get. You know, it just seems like
what if people say, and do you want, I mean, most people aren't going to troll a baby, are they?
That I'm not worried about. It's just, like I said, I don't want to post a picture and then be like, checking and being like, oh, well, there's only like 80 likes on this one. Well, this is a better one. Like, other people don't determine how cute my kid is or how much I love him or how awesome he is. And
but it's not, should.
It's none of other people's business. Like, how cute my kid is. Like, they, you know, it's not, they don't take care of him. I do. Like, I can do what I want with his pictures. I can share them with some close friends and family, but like, I don't need to broadcast it and like make him a product. It's just, I don't know. It cheapens it, I think.
The internet is not above trolling a baby, by the way. So I think Cody is definitely, and there's Chef Kobe, which is a baby that I like that's on social media and I follow. Do you guys know who Chef Kobe is? No idea?
No.
He's got like 1 million Instagram followers now. He's a baby. He's a little baby and he cooks. He cooks things. Gordon Ramsay loves him. But now there's a lot of product placement of Chef Kobe's Instagram account because I think the parents
making the money.
Well, I think the parents realized they could make the quiche, and it's starting to get a little bit less interesting than it was before. And so there are some trolls that hit the Chef Kobe every once in a while, and he has no idea. So he's blissfully unaware.
Him or his parents, though, I find it hard to troll a baby.
I think it's probably the parents.
Followers, not
no, he's got 1 million on the Insta. There's no way. What are you on? Chef Kobe's got 1 million.
I searched Chef Kobe. Oh, that's Chef Kobe fan. But where's
that's the fake. That's the knockoff. You got to get rid of that. It's at Kobe_YN. That's the real Instagram. He's got 2.5 million followers now, actually. 2.5 mil. And I found him at 500,000, talked about him on the Craig Collins Show, set him off on a trajectory. I think that was all the Craig Collins Show bump.
Could be.
Newton doesn't think so. Cody doesn't care anymore.
This baby is like...
That really is
funny looking.
That is what you were just talking about, though, Cody. This is monetizing a baby.
I can't know. I won't even. And there's people that do podcasts with their kid. There's no way. And let me explain exactly why. It's because when you're on mic, you're a certain persona, right? We are ourselves, but we are some exaggerated version of whatever, and we go into like a mode, right? Like
not
if
me, I'm 100% genuine.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm engaging with my son, I want to be authentic, and my role is dad, not co-host, because like that's a very different role, and he doesn't get to see me in that role. Just like, you know, he's not going to be in the text message group with all my high school friends, because that's where I get to say inappropriate, offensive things to them, and we get to troll each other. But like, that's not the role that he gets to see me in. So I am violently against family podcasting with children and stuff. Like, I'm not going to do YouTube videos. I'm not going to like have them on my show. Like, none of that. Nah, not going to happen.
Okay.
Wow. Maybe that's why Molly won't guest on this. She only wants to see me as dad. She doesn't want to see me as co-host.
She was older though when you did that.
Oh, I know. Listen, you remember when you started working with me, I didn't even say her name on the air.
Yeah, for years.
You know what's so interesting about it is the huge gap here. And Molly went into entertainment, Noonan. She went into the world that maybe Cody is trying to steer his child from, and you might have tried
but then she
to steer Molly from. How did that?
She realized it was horrific, so she left it.
True.
Are you thrilled that she's out of it right now?
Yes.
1,000%.
Dude, with how much she was working? Whew.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
interesting.
awful. What's going on? I think one of the dogs is trying to get in here. Let me ask a judge's ruling. My internet is back, but in order for this to continue, we would have to log out and start it again. Is it better to just keep it going this way?
I think that our listeners will come back, our followers, our viewers. I think that the internet is valuable.
But
If we take 2 seconds and log out, I've already got the tab open to do it. You guys have the link, and we lock it back in right away.
Oh, we're fine this way. I mean, everybody can hear you all right.
Okay.
And see you all right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Craig, what's your deal?
I was going the other road, so we have dueling opinions now.
Wow, and you two I defer to you young tech gurus.
I mean, I don't know. I think that Cody's probably right as far as potentially losing part of our audience.
We're an hour in.
Well, I have been his producer for longer, but you are a successful producer and national radio host. So I think I'm punching above my weight a little bit here.
No, you're not.
Christine is saying we could all take a potty break. I wasn't thinking of that long.
Well, hey, Brian's on his phone. He could take a potty break while we're doing this.
Yeah, I could. Oh, I could tube in this whole thing.
Can't you join again or no?
No, because I went to log
you're
in
hosting.
because I'm logged in on the account here.
Gotcha.
I can't log in on my computer.
Gotcha.
Wait, Brian. Is your phone connected to your Wi-Fi?
No. Because it was off. Hold on.
Yeah, because some people are like, he's breaking up a little bit.
I am breaking up, but you're right. It's because I had to go to data. So hold on, kids.
There might be
to get better.
There might be a quick hiccup in the connection or whatever, but I think once he's on the Wi-Fi, I think we'll be good to go.
All right. How are you, Cody?
And so your internet's worked every time you've done a radio show, Craig?
Yes, I've never had the problem that Noonan had today, but I have a secret as to why that is true that I can tell Noonan.
Well,
sure.
Just Brian and not me.
Well, no, I'll tell you too. I just figured Noonan would know. I have business internet, and that's supposed to be a dedicated connection. And if you use the internet for business purposes, or if you incorporate like I did, I think you could probably buy it anyway. I don't think they care. It's more expensive, but the pitch is, they'll tell you the pitch is that it's dedicated to you. And if you have an outage, they understand that it's business related, so they'll fix it quicker. I imagine that if Comcast went down all around you, that there's nothing you would have done anyway. But they claim, and I've never had an outage, so hopefully, that's why. But I pay for business internet.
Just get AT&T.
Oh, yeah, it was
better anyway.
This is Xfinity, the nightmare. But all right, now we are. Now I'm on Wi-Fi on the phone.
Ooh.
Well,
Perfect.
It already looks because I'm watching this and I'm watching the feed on Facebook. It already looks a little clearer on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, yeah. All right. There we go.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do. I got my little ring light, Cody, that you told me about.
Nice.
Next week I'll have. Last week, Craig knows I used a brand new high def webcam. We look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. I will. I need my podcast studio looks very basic and kind of plain behind me, but it's still a work in progress. It's actually extremely impressive. On the other side, like I've got my rack up there. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. I've got carpet in this closet. I have LEDs all around the edge.
Can't you turn the camera?
So no, are you still in the office or are you somewhere else? Where did you?
Yeah, and I'm still in the office. No, I got
office.
My office out there with the dragon, and I got my dual monitor set up over there, and just crap everywhere because I'm just like it's a total disaster construction zone. Today I went to Home Depot and I got a bunch of 8-foot 2x4s, and I ordered some canvas and I got some Rockwool Safe and Sound, which is like a rock insulation thing, and I'm going to be building my own acoustic panels.
Wow.
And I got a DeWalt, I think, or something, a table, what's it called? The saddle horse, whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, saddle horse. No, you got
sawhorse. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought he had a mechanical bull.
We'd be good on the $25,000 pyramid.
Yeah, be very good. So you're what are you sawhorsing?
I'm gonna well, I needed it to because I got a clamp. I'm gonna cut the wood boards. I'm gonna screw them together. I'm gonna get it all set with the frame, and then I'm gonna put in this insulation material that is really sound absorbent. And then I'm gonna I got some weed.
That's not gonna help you with your podcast.
It will
really.
though.
It'll slow you down.
You have no idea. No,
It'll
I've
just
got
alleviate some anxiety.
Seriously, you're not going to build anything.
It's the
Except
weed
the
control
buzz.
fabric. What is it? It's a roll of it's like a light, like dark material, and it's to protect against weeds. I don't know. And then I got some
Weed block.
What is it?
It's
weed block.
landscape fabric. Weed block.
Weed block. Got weed block landscape fabric for the back, and then I've got for the front. I got. I couldn't find purple burlap because it's gonna be purple. It's gonna look rad.
Are you paying for all this, or is the company throwing down?
I'm paying for it.
Wow, nice.
Who paid for your setup,
expensive.
Craig? You paid for your setup, did you?
I did. I incorporated though. I made a company, and then the company paid for it, and then I got taxes back. I essentially did Trump taxes for a few years.
Wow,
it was great.
Man, oh man!
Recommend
I should
it
have
heavily.
started seeking your counsel earlier.
Yeah,
Tom
you
Hagen.
got to do the Trump taxes for a couple years. You got to roll that dice.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to be able to build multiple panels because I'm going to do a couple smaller ones to put in the corner for base straps. I'll be able to make a bunch of them way cheaper than if I had bought online. Like if I had bought a couple online for that wall, it would have been like $160. The way I'm doing it, I'll be able to fill the whole closet and then get extra panels for the rest of the house for like $100 basically. Actually, the Rockwell Safe and Sound, I went to Lowe's. So it's just like, it's this thick, it's like a fiberglass in terms of insulation, but it's a little safer, hence Safe and Sound. And I went to Lowe's, and there's a giant thing of it for like a bunch of square feet. And it's usually like $56. So there was one that had fallen off a pallet and it like ripped open the corner of it. So some of it had expanded.
Yeah, it had done that. I got it. No,
Dude.
Totally, Cody. Yeah,
Said Cody
you didn't
with his
do that.
utility knife.
Right.
Slash.
Yeah, he wasn't doing that there.
It was marked down from $56 to $11. $11.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So like,
There's a tip for all you shoppers.
Break things.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Man, the show is so dishonest. Brian loves The Bachelor and Bachelorette and lies about it. Cody breaks things in stores. I'm the only one that can be trusted. I paid exactly the correct amount of taxes. If the loophole exists, it's not my fault.
That's true.
I thought I saw some graphic that like it was like a heat map of where the IRS actually audits people on their taxes. And of course, it was disproportionately like places where minorities live, which is depressing. But for some reason, like the heat map was very not all over Illinois at all. Like no one in Illinois ever gets audited. Apparently,
until I admitted it on this show.
Right.
I'm going to be audited tomorrow.
That's probably the one thing you don't want to brag about is, man, I was screwed up by taxes for years. This is unbelievable.
I did them all right. I hired an accountant and stuff, guys. I'm sure I did them correctly.
Listen, I hear your accountants told us it was all under audit, so I'm not worried about it.
He or she.
It's a he.
Why? You don't trust a woman with money?
No, this guy was recommended to me. It had nothing to do with it. I asked. Noonan just died. This guy was recommended to me by another colleague that was going to go in on my business and then didn't. He said he was great and cheap, and he was all those things.
Hold on, I have to go. I'm walking over to the door.
Okay,
sounds good.
The dog is whining to come in.
Aww. Oh, dude, Roger's watching. Good. I've been waiting for this, Roger. I got this thing from Roger like 2 weeks ago, and I said I'd send a picture, and I didn't because I have a baby that's always needing something. So wait, let me get it. Hold on.
Oh, you weren't going to send a picture of the baby?
You're just both going to leave the show.
No, I'm here. I've been talking the whole time.
I know,
that's
but
the only
Noonan's
benefit of doing it on the phone.
That's true.
Because then, I was able to let Gidget in.
Okay. Roger is now the second person. There it is. Roger is now the second person to comment on Cody's hair, and we have not gotten an explanation as to why the hair has definitely changed. The hair is a lot less. I don't know.
There's no poof. There's no product.
I don't do anything with it because I don't.
Because you have a baby, darn it.
I have a baby, dude. I don't have time for that. I'm actually out of hair gel. Actually, last week I wanted to
baby
get.
Thing.
Right. Well, last week I wanted to get a haircut, and then my wife was like, oh, well, DePage County just locked down extra. Can you maybe not go get COVID so that you can do your stupid hair for the quarantine cast? And I was like, fine.
Did you watch subsequent movie film and enjoy it a lot?
I didn't enjoy it a lot.
I didn't enjoy it a lot either.
I didn't think it was that good. We all don't think that?
I didn't like it as much as the first one at all.
Yeah,
Not even
Sam.
close. All of it was much more manufactured and stupid.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly why.
I didn't need the heartwarming tale of he and his daughter.
Okay. Cody, exactly why? What?
Sequels generally focus too much on exposition. That's the problem. A comedy movie is just a bunch of jokes strung together. With the second one, a lot of writers end up feeling like they have to justify whatever's happening. And so you get a lot of expository scenes that just don't have jokes in them. And that's what happened with Borat. And they put jokes in them, but they was so predictable and so paint by numbers that you're just like the second she showed up for the second time, I was like, ugh, she's going to be a through line in the movie. And she was phenomenal, but that's not why those weren't the funniest parts, right? If you want to make a movie about just that, then do that and don't brand it Borat. But the first movie was so good because it had all these hilarious, absurd things.
Yeah.
Right. So. And you didn't, the fact that he had to explain that when he got to America, everybody knew him. Well, that blows the whole concept. The beauty of the first one was nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew they were getting caught. This was just, okay, we've been here. This is all a retread.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like it. I fell asleep the first time I was watching it. So I made it about halfway through, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, I'll watch it tomorrow. And I watched the second half, and I had a few genuine laughs, but not enough.
Yeah. No, there were several moments in the movie that just felt like they dragged way too much, like they were kind of stuffed in there. And I don't know if that's because they attempted some things, they didn't work as well as they wanted them to, but then coronavirus hit, so maybe they couldn't go try more things. I don't know how many things end up on the cutting room floor for a Borat movie, and if we got a lot of cutting room things, but only half of it was even at all entertaining, I think. I think at least half was what you just described.
I did see him on Colbert. I don't know if you guys saw him telling a behind-the-scenes story and showing some footage that they didn't show of people, that scene where he's singing at the rally.
Yeah.
He got recognized by some people from Black Lives Matter who were there infiltrating to get intel on this rally. And once they recognized him, then somebody from the gun rally recognized him, and they tried to storm the stage, and he got hustled off by his own security into the back of an ambulance to get out of there. And as he was saying, is the door locked, people were pulling the door open to try to get at him.
Wow.
So I was like, that was kind of cool. I would have liked to have seen that in the movie where, but that's, then his cover was blown. So you couldn't, it didn't fit the story. But I was like, that was a very interesting anecdote.
Yeah.
The synagogue was absolutely hilarious. That killed me.
When he walked it, yes.
That destroyed me. I mean, that was so funny. But there were one or two other parts too, but that got me.
Well, and Rudy Giuliani that's memorable. You're going to remember that.
You could tell that was dishonest editing. While I was watching that, and I didn't really see the press coverage, and I saw some stuff like Giuliani responds, but I didn't know what happened till I watched it. I felt genuinely bad for the guy watching it. I didn't think he was very creepy. I thought he was like an old guy with a young girl flirting with him, and he acted normal, and he had to put his hand down his pants to take his mic out. I've been mic'd up. Brian, you've been mic'd up.
Yeah.
We all know what it's like to be mic'd up.
I will agree with you to a point. To the point where let's go have a drink in the bedroom. That's where you go, no. There's no, if he's there and he's taking off the mic and he reaches into his pants, yes. But to go in the bedroom and be sitting on the bed and then lay back to take the mic. I've never, of all the mics I've had on me, I've never had to go into my pants to get rid of them. I've gone into my pants for a lot of other reasons, co-stars, etc.
Can I take a substantial risk and ask an awkward question?
Yeah.
Are we all ready?
Why worry about that now?
I don't know. Giuliani, he's divorced from his third wife now, right? Like they were not together during the shooting of the movie.
I don't know.
Okay, because that relationship ended. Giuliani's relationship ended last year. I don't think so. If an attractive reporter is hitting on you as a single guy, and I'm not saying exactly what happened because the movie doesn't show it exactly that way, but if that were the case, is it wrong to return that interest if that was what was happening? Because Giuliani defending it, saying he was just taking his microphone off, all that stuff. If he misinterpreted the moment purposefully because the other person was showing interest that wasn't real and he's single, what are we judging now? I mean, it's not appropriate. I'm still going to say it's not appropriate for someone in a high power situation to wind up having a romantic fling with someone immediately after an interview. That's an odd thing to happen. But like, what are we judging him for if she was trying to get them to go that road? I'm asking the question.
I will
Either of you want to
answer
answer
the question after I bust your balls for staying in that, conservative talk show host bubble, which I love.
All right.
So
I'm ready for all this.
Now that I've busted your balls enough,
Yeah.
I will say, if he is a single man,
Yeah.
he is not her boss.
Correct.
If she is the one doing the pursuing, then
Correct.
it's not. You got to take the age out because everybody. Yes, Mike says, isn't she supposed to be underage?
She's 23.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah, she's actually 23 years old. By the way, the actress is
Right.
certainly of age.
As a real live person, she is not underage.
Yeah.
The character is supposed to be 15.
Right,
but,
and that's not how he was told. Like, he wasn't informed on any of that.
Right. Now, is it his, at some point, do you go, hey, how old are you?
Right. Well, let me be as specific as I can, by the way. If I were a very famous person that had just done an interview, and I'm taken, by the way, so this I have to pretend I'm single. But if
Wear the shoes.
A very famous person just did an interview with someone and they start to like flirt with me, I would not be interested in a romantic thing happening in that moment because of the dynamic of it, that I was just interviewed for my fame. I wouldn't want to.
I like that you think it's going to be romantic.
No, whatever. I wouldn't want to go from interview to something else. I would maybe go on a date a week, a month, some amount of time after the interview. So I'm not saying it's appropriate, but I am saying, like, what are we judging him for if he was doing what he's accused of doing, which Cody has mentioned feels like unfair editing and not real. But
there's no way he was doing what he's accused of doing.
I know.
Because, like, you got to remember, it wasn't just him and the girl in the room. It was the camera person.
Well, he was assumed they would leave.
No, in that room, supposedly it's hidden cameras in that room.
And he's hiding in a closet that apparently, by the way, he has a security team, Rudy Giuliani does, that swept the hotel room before the interview. They didn't find Borat in a closet.
Yeah, you fired that security team yesterday.
Immediately. Yeah, how does that happen? How do you not look in a closet?
Well, again, it wasn't a closet. It was a manufactured cabinet.
Yeah,
but they customized the room. So it wasn't like they just walked in and like, oh, there's the bedroom closet. Yeah, we're not going to look in there.
We're good.
That's crazy. We're going to go somewhere else.
Okay. Good talk we all had here.
I just think it was a stretch. It was like when Aziza Ansari got like Me Too'd or whatever for a bad date. Like it's like, okay, was some weird awkward stuff maybe happen? Yeah, but like, is it on the level that it's being presented as? I don't think so. It's grasping at straws, and I think it does a disservice when you're trying to discredit someone to put them in a situation that is like so questionable that we can have an entire conversation about it and not conclusively say, oh yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, I think it is a disservice to people trying to criticize that person legitimately because there are more legitimate things you can criticize them on. Like you could take this is like trying to get Trump on, I don't know, like saying something, inappropriate or whatever versus like,
which time?
Like the things he's done, right? It's like you can't do the gotcha on like, oh, he used foul language when he's like putting people in concentration camps, right? I'm gonna
get in trouble again. I'm gonna get in trouble for being the conservative radio host in the room. But if you judge Trump based on just the actions his administration has taken, I think people would like him more. I'm not saying that he hasn't done bad things. There's some bad things. Certainly the kids in cages is a bad thing. But there are a lot of effective, successful things that he's done, certainly with the economy.
That's
that
because society is awful.
if you judged him based on his record as a president and not all of the things he said and
as
or
a
tweeted,
capitalist who
Right.
destroys
No.
the planet
or
and
any
is
of the
going to
ways,
leave my son and grandchildren
Or-
with horribly warmed planet with
Any of that
horrible temperatures
All those
and
things. Those things.
disastrous
Yeah,
weather
those-
patterns.
valuable.
And,
I'm
saying-
listen, Craig, you're right. Because oftentimes I thought, I wish I could kill a bear while it was asleep in its cave. So thank God that the president. Yes, you are correct.
No,
I often thought, you know what? The air is for suckers. Breathing is for lunatics.
We should all agree that a majority of the dislike of Trump comes from the way in which he handles himself as a human, not necessarily the decisions that are made by his administration. We don't attack on a daily basis. A lot of people don't attack the things that his administration did. They attack the words he said, which I'm not.
I think
saying.
I think the words are the icing on the administration cake.
Okay.
The immigration stuff, the environmental stuff, the stoking of division. I think the words are.
His administration has taken no action other than to write negative things about people like the poor boys. So the words he spoke are the things you're upset with when it comes to those groups, those fringe groups. His actions, he's actually deemed the KKK as a terrorist organization.
Okay, well, the actions of deregulating all the climate protections.
Yeah, we shouldn't argue about this. We're going down the wrong path.
You know that I'm not gonna. You know the trying to push through a Supreme Court justice so that they can strike down affordable health care, which will then strip millions of people of their health insurance, while telling us he has a big, beautiful plan that he's been telling us about for 4 years and has zero. And when they handed it to Leslie Stahl and she flipped through it, she was like, there's nothing in here. So those are actual policies.
No, that's true.
That mean nothing.
Honestly, Cindy has weighed in on how he handled coronavirus, how he handled COVID-19. Yes, that's an actual administration decision that he made or didn't make at a federal level that has affected people. So I get that one. But I think that if he spoke differently, if he communicated less on social media, we would have a different opinion of him as people if we judge just the administration and the actions it took and not the way in which he conducts himself as a human being.
I agree with you, Craig, because a lot of people are all nostalgic for the Obama years. And I had people telling me like, oh, watch this 60 Minutes interview with this like photographer that took pictures of the Obamas and they were so classy and whatever. Obama's still a war criminal. He still killed a bunch of people with drone strikes. Like all our presidents have been murderous sociopaths. And you can be nostalgic for when they were nice, friendly, murderous sociopaths. Like JFK, he was a sexy boy, but he was also a murderous sociopath. So like all we're getting nostalgic for is a bunch of like, like People Magazine of Washington, D.C., like bullshit. Like they're all horrible people, right? Pretty much all our politicians are really awful. But like if you're nice and you smile and you go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and you make a couple jokes, then like, oh my God, I'd give anything for the Obama years again. Oh, he only killed hundreds of brown people with drone strikes, not thousands. It's like, come on, give me a break. Everyone sucks. Check this out. Roger got me a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Red Ranger alarm clock. How's that for a transition?
Wow,
Nick's
I am. Hold on, I have to sit down again because I'm so dizzy from that.
Oh my God. Isn't this awesome? Dude, thank you, Roger. Roger sent this, told me I had a Power Rangers alarm clock. This is pretty amazing. I'm stoked about it. He even sent batteries with it, which probably isn't legal, but that's fine. Who cares? Roger, by the way, actually, I definitely used the drill that you gave me and a bunch of drill bits to put together this studio. Again, I've got to like step out of it to show you kind of the full scope of the LEDs and everything, but it's good. But this rules. This is going in the baby's room, and it's gonna be totally the raddest thing. So.
I just had a rant.
AMFM radio too.
Yeah, your child's gonna be very afraid of Jason.
I just scare the hell out of him.
I just had a rant-gasm. I didn't know I could have one of those, but Cody just gave me a rant-gasm. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Did I make it awkward? I made it weird.
I really don't like
I'm just
politics.
worried, and I don't even want to go here because Cody and I have gone down this path before. You're going to vote, aren't you, Cody?
Who do you think I voted for president?
I don't care about that. I'm just asking if you voted.
Did you vote?
Did I? Yes,
Yeah.
I early voted. First day.
I mailed in my ballot 2 days ago.
All right.
Just kidding. My wife mailed in my ballot. So either I did my civic duty, she did my civic duty, or she left it in the car and it never made it to the mailbox. But I handed her my ballot and trusted her to do the right thing with it. And, now it's in God's hands. Now it's in God's hands, the hands of God and Trump's attorneys. That's whose hands it's in.
Friend of the show, Dan Lloyd, says that it was very impressive to watch Cody go from a rant about politics to talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It was quite a flip. I
know.
that.
It was a rantgasm. That's what I called it.
It's good that we're able to go down one path and immediately go, yeah, we're going in another direction.
Well, and Cody and I saw the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie together. We went to go see that. Yes, and Casey, I think, made fun of us. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
She should have. I knew I liked Casey.
Well, do you remember before that movie came out, Twitch TV streamed every episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Yes,
in like
I do.
3-week marathon. I had it on every time she came home, and she's like, "How are you still watching this children's show?" And amazing.
God. The only reason I remember that is because you texted me, I think, just about every day to tell me that it was on, and I kept going and watching it after Cody would say, "More Power Rangers today." It was great. I think they're making a second movie, by the way. I think they're making a sequel.
People are making movies still? I thought Hollywood
think so.
closed.
No.
Yes, but they're all with old ideas like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There are no new stories.
Cody, did you see the movie with Rosie Greer and can't think of his name, where the one guy had the others attached to his shoulder? Rosie Greer.
Rosie Greer was a football player and an actor. After he played football, he was an actor, and he was very popular for a while.
The Thing with Two Heads.
I did not see that.
I did not see The Thing with Two Heads.
Interesting.
1972 American science fiction comedy.
Oh, because I had the thing. Have you guys watched any? Have you gone down have you treated October in a horror type way? Brian, did you watch anything creepy or scary horror movie?
I watched the new Adam Sandler Hobie Halloween.
How was it?
I was alone and I'd had a couple glasses of wine, so it was all right. Dogs and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Packed a mighty vaporizer with some sativa.
Did you choose to drink wine after choosing the Adam Sandler movie, or did the Adam Sandler movie come because of the wine? Chicken and the egg.
As I mentioned to you last week, I was by myself, so I would have. I'm trying to think. I had something for dinner that went with wine, or that wine went with. Could have been a bagel. I don't know. Whatever I was drinking. But no, I had the wine prior to the Adam Sandler movie, and then in addition to the Adam Sandler movie.
Gotcha.
So watch that. But no, I haven't watched anything really scary. Debbie doesn't like scary movies, and I haven't. So I haven't.
Did you guys know?
Maybe we.
Did you know that scary movies are the most likely to get someone laid after a date?
Yep.
Okay, Cody.
We did a story on Curiosity Daily.
I did a story on it on my radio show.
Well, we are the same person.
Lived it, girls.
Did you? Did you?
Wait, was your first date with Debbie a horror date? A horror movie?
Listen, every date with me was a horror date.
Brian, your
audio video breaking up. Yes, it is.
It's unstable.
I understand. We're not going to be doing this for much longer, and then next week I'll be back on the nice new webcam.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, couldn't you just click the invite link on your computer and then have you join?
No, I can't sign in.
Do you need to sign in? I didn't sign in. I just clicked the link.
Well, no, but he's hosting. Cody, he's hosting.
I'm hosting.
Neither of us are hosting.
What if you go on your computer, right click on the link that you sent me and Craig,
right?
Click open a new incognito tab.
Yeah, but then the host will leave. Once he disconnects the phone, the host
you won't have to disconnect. Just wait. Right click open in an incognito window.
Hold on.
And then mute the phone.
Yes. And then mute the phone and turn off the video on the phone. Boom.
And then we have 4 screens and one of them's black, but we have a better connection.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Hold on, boys.
I'd love to do this in
be,
the last 20 minutes.
I may not be the best producer, but I'm the cheapest producer.
No, you're good.
You know,
You're good. I understood none of what he said. It was like a robot. That's a drunk robot. Yeah. Yeah. His computer just got hammered. I dated a guy who drove a Gremlin with yellow headlights. That's a horror show. It sounds like it. That does sound like it, Kim.
I hope he never fed it after midnight, if you know what I mean. Hi-oh!
Stuff. Yeah, nice, Cody.
Thank you.
What's your car? What do you drive now? I forget.
I don't remember. So did you watch any horror things for the Halloween?
I don't love horror either. I don't really like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neither does my wife. So what we decided to do, now no one knows where Brian is, actually.
He's gone. I don't even know if
he might be texting us. He might be
okay, I'll check.
So anyway,
no text.
She doesn't really like horror movies either. But I broke quarantine and I visited a couple friends in just outside the city. And they really wanted to watch a horror movie.
Right.
So my buddy John has the horror movie streaming service, Shudder. Have you heard of this?
No.
So
I'm not surprised John has this.
There's an entire streaming service that is only horror movies and horror related like stuff, thrillers.
We're seeing Brian again, by the way. Brian, so you know we're seeing you.
Yeah. I know you're seeing me shake my head in complete disgust.
Frustration.
Yeah, I'm not going to be
Shudder?
able to do that because Yahoo now is not working either. My computer, my internet is back, but I can't sign in to the email that I sent you. So we're just going to have to deal with this, or I'm going to say goodnight and you guys can finish or whatever.
No. Well, now we can see and hear you okay. You're not choppy anymore. So that's good.
You fixed that.
Well, no, it's just the connection on the cell phone for this. It says right at the top, mobile device support is limited. So
Hannah Stanley just jumped into the old chats, and she's saying she wants to be a part of the show. Hannah, we just added a third face mine.
Listen,
we can't add a fourth face yours.
We would love to have you as a guest one night. Yes. You can come out. We'd love to have you on to plug your show.
No, she's going to take a face. Probably this one. She can have it for a day.
I was on.
I'll tell you what. If this happens again, you all can take my space because this is.
It's fine.
It's great though.
Cody, you've worked with me long enough. How well do you think I'm handling this in spite of everything else?
I mean, not well, but like it's still fine. Like it's fine. It looks fine. Dude, that would be the dream right there, is like having Hannah as a guest. I think I told her this last time I saw her, but of all the fill-in hosts that I worked with at WGN that weren't Brian, Hannah was my favorite to work with.
Yeah, Hannah is fantastic to work with.
Get her on, and the two of you and her, it's just like, again, top three broadcast people. But back to Shudder. So there's this streaming service, Shudder, and my friend John has seen like everything on it. And so they queued up this horror comedy film on Shudder called Scare Me. Now there's another film called Scare Me that came out this year that's really not good. It has like a 3 on Rotten Tomatoes. This is a Shudder original exclusively for the service, and it is also called Scare Me. It was really good. Like, it was funny. There were no jump scares. It wasn't terrifying. It was so good. Like, it's about basically this pair of people that are kind of like holed up in a cabin and they tell each other scary stories, but it's really fun. So I showed it to my wife, and we watched it, and she loved it. Like, she was like, that was a really, really good movie. Okay. So we watched that, and then we went down the rabbit hole with a couple other films. There's a guy on Shudder. He actually does a live weekly show that they stream every Friday night, I believe, and then you can watch it on demand after that. He's called like Billy Joe Bob or something like that. But he's this guy he's like a former actor. He's been in some stuff, but he's also like a film critic and has this like encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. And so every Friday he does like a Joe Bob or whatever drive-in at the movies. So he'll sit down and he does like a monologue that's kind of like half comedy, half background on the movie you're about to see. Then you watch the first like half hour of the movie, and then it cuts back to him, and then he talks about some of what you just saw and talks about the actors and talks about like what you're about to see. And then it cuts back to the movie. So you end up watching the whole movie with these like little breaks for commentary. It's really cool. So we watched Heathers. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's like an 80s, early 90s scary movie about a bunch of like high schoolers murdering each other, starring who's the girl from Beetlejuice?
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder, yeah. Winona Ryder and not Patrick Swayze, but some other big name that you would recognize. Who is it?
Christian Slater.
Yeah, apparently he's seen this movie.
Thank you. You've seen it, right, Brian?
Yes.
Oh my God, Hannah in the chat. It's so very. Yeah, they keep saying like it's so very. Like
Sven
how now
Gulli did it, by the way. Apparently,
who did it?
Sven Gulli.
Did he?
Sven. Yeah, that's what Cindy's saying. I don't know. I didn't see any of this.
It was pretty interesting. So we watched Heathers. We watched some other movie with Joe Bob. We watched Scare Me, and then we watched a 1960s horror film, a Vincent Price horror film called Theater of Blood.
Okay.
Which is like,
when did Nick D stop by?
You've seen the movie Seven, right, Craig?
I have. Yes, that I've seen. You hit me with one.
And tell what's the plot? What does the guy do
in Seven?
Yeah,
I don't want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't seen it. Seven has a horrific ending to the movie.
Well, not the ending, but what's the theme of the serial killer?
The theme of the serial killer in Seven, it's the 7 deadly sins. That's the idea.
Right. There's a murder based on every one of the 7 deadly sins.
Correct. And then it's got a horrific ending. If you don't want to know, or if you don't like that, I wouldn't watch that movie.
I didn't
What's
say,
in the box?
What's
in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Like, I didn't say.
Don't do it. I don't want to relive that movie. Spacey. Oh my God.
What was that
What's
ending
in the box?
Come on.
I didn't say I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
No, don't. I didn't say to. That's
why would you bring up Seven?
Because Theater of Blood is like Seven, but instead of murders based on the 7 deadly sins, every murder is based on a Shakespeare play.
Okay.
And it's really over the top and ridiculous. And it's basically Vincent Price just doing cheesy Shakespearean monologues.
Right. See, this is like a bad version of the Riddler from the Batman. I wouldn't even pick this up if like a murderer was killing me based on Shakespeare plays. I wouldn't notice.
It's funny. It's very
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's very fun. A guy dies at one point, and the police inspector tells like the director of the theater, and he's like, "My God, Richard III."
Can't. But okay, whatever. Kim, by the way, no, that's not what's in the box for Kim weighing in on social media. However, when I was a wedding DJ, which I only was once, I thought it was hilarious to play that song several times. The drunker I got in the evening, because people were buying me drinks as the DJ, the more I played Dick in the Box from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, it was terrible. I was an awful DJ. I think eventually they took me out of the venue, but it was a good time. I think I had a good time.
My favorite Halloween DJ story.
Sure.
We had a Halloween party when I lived with my 2 buddies in Wicker Park. A couple years after I moved into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Now Brian, did you add a new screen or do we have a caller?
Oh, he did it. He did the thing. He did the thing.
He did it.
Well, all right. I don't know how you're going to hear me.
You're doing the computer audio.
Okay.
We're hearing your computer.
Perfect.
You can set up all the other stuff and then switch it.
I'm just trying to turn.
Noonan, we're doing another 2-hour broadcast now that you've fixed this. We're going till midnight.
Yeah, I can hear you.
He can't hear us. He's got things going on through his board. He's got a soundboard.
Oh.
He'll figure it out. We'll get there. Sounds better, Brian. It does, Kim. He does sound better.
Yeah.
Visually, he's much better.
I mean, to be fair, you just did a major market radio broadcast before this with no internet. That's pretty impressive.
What kind of camera do you have, Cody? Your camera is very clear.
Same one that Brian.
Well, this is back just.
Oh, that's not his.
In the.
Oh, his robot's drunk.
Bye, Roger.
Bye, Roger. Your robot got drunk again, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, you're back. Great impression on 7. More Noonan, please. I know we need Noonan, Stu. It's the Brian Noonan Show. That's the name of the Facebook page. We're trying to get Noonan. We want Noonan. Everyone wants Noonan.
Text him and see if
you know, you have a phone too. But I'll text him. What do you want me to text him, Cody? No, go ahead. Tell me what to text him, please. I apologize. Continue.
Tell him, can your wife go in the kitchen and get some tin foil
And your wife? I'm
and
actually
wrap
texting him
it
that.
over the laptop?
Wife.
Oh wait, now Brian can see and hear us, so it's not.
No, I can see you.
Well, but you can hear us too, right?
I can hear you too.
What do you want me to text him, Cody?
Oh, now we hear ourselves back.
If you want to text him, please. I apologize.
Oh no, it's gonna be a loop.
Tell
We don't
him,
want that.
can your wife go? He's getting the headphones. That's what I sound like. Wow, that's weird.
He's playing us back through his soundboard.
Now Brian can see and hear us, so it's not. Hello, Brian.
I texted him what you asked me to text him. I'm
How
gonna
about that?
even more.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it's the super overmodulated version. So pick the input that you picked with me the other day on Clean Feed. And drop us out of the mix.
Should I get my weed?
Yes.
There's a correction in the chat earlier. I meant indica, not sativa. You know, I don't know. I can go either way, honestly. I do know the difference. Sometimes. Hey, so my favorite. Well, I'll wait for Brian to do a mic check. The suspense is killing me. Yeah, stop by Sunnyside. Dude, the Sunnyside in Addison is top shelf. I feel like I'm walking into an Apple store. They're just never a line. Really nice people. Huge selection.
Hold on, Cody. I want to interview you differently now. I want to lean into the echo here. How are you doing, Cody, in 2 minutes? Wait for it.
I don't know.
Yeah, wait for it.
I mean,
Give us a second.
I feel like the new camera Brian's using makes him a little redder, but I can't tell if that's the camera or just his head about to explode.
Don't comment on the redness of Noonan. Everybody talks
working.
about Noonan's redness.
He's not a fan of things not working. I've worked with him for a long time, and it's
Nobody is. Who's a
dude.
fan of things not working?
No,
what
that's
human
true.
being is like, yeah, things don't work. This is great.
That's
Are we
true.
still on
I
alone?
think he hung up on us. I think he's just like, I'm done with this.
Well, oh, there he is. He's popping in and out.
There he is. That's the way to do it.
Noonan,
I hope he goes and takes a crap with his phone. He's just like, I'm over it. He needs the ring light on. Yeah, that'll fix it.
that'll fix it.
Let me
That's
tell
a
you
good-
my Halloween DJ story. So we had a Halloween party when I lived in Wicker Park, like probably 2009, 2010. So and I was like already producing and audio editing. So I took Thriller, and you know how it just vamps for like a minute straight in the middle?
I do.
So I took Thriller and I made an 18.5-minute edit where I just repeated the loop and then would occasionally throw in a chorus for 18 minutes.
That is fantastic.
Right now, it's usually like a 6-minute song, 7-minute song or something. No one noticed until after it had been playing for 15 minutes. And my roommate Blake was finally like, how long has this song been?
I think I've figured out why we're friends, Cody. I took a DJ class in college. It was radio DJ. It actually was about, maybe going out and being a club DJ as well. It was at Columbia College in art school. And for my final, I mixed every song into and out of Thriller. So I would mix into Thriller and then out of Thriller and back in and back out for the entire final. And you had to do like 10 transitions. So it was half of my songs and they loved it. Like everybody all the students were like, that was incredible. I was like, thank you. This is the Craig Collins show. Well, no, I did that live in the room. I could do it again, I guess, but I practiced it and like had to mix it in person. It wasn't a playback.
I always wanted to try live DJing like that, so I'm jealous that you got to try it.
No, it's not as great. It's not as great as you think. But our affinity for Thriller is well established now, apparently.
Well documented now, yeah, for sure.
All right,
Brian, welcome back to the Brian Noonan Show.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes. I'm gonna have a Pop-Tart now.
Yes or no? No?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? What? Yeah, we can hear you.
He might not be able to hear us. This
I can
Pop-Tart's
hear you
delicious.
fine.
Oh.
Fine. Can people hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Good. I don't mean to get snippy.
You aren't?
It has not been night of good technology, so I apologize. I tried to do what you said, Cody, and then because I was in the incognito thing, I couldn't get to the settings, and I was able to change the camera and the audio input, but it wasn't taking them. So,
Do you want to tell him or do I?
You.
I don't want to tell him.
You do it.
Your robot's drunk, Noonan. We have no idea what you're saying. I imagine a robot's getting punched. You want some Pop-Tart, Cody?
No, I doubt. Sometimes the off-brand stuff's better. I actually, I think the Jewel brand waffles might be better than they might.
No,
toast more
that's not
evenly
a thing. No.
than Eggos.
No, that's not possible.
I've been buying Eggos, and maybe it's our toaster, but I feel like they come out crispier.
No,
and softer.
That can't. Eggo is a classic. Eggo is as good as it gets in the waffle world.
I just don't know. Kim in the chat said, dated a guy whose second job was DJ. He was great at weddings. Wedding party was announced with the music the Bulls used in their heyday.
Nice. I have that song. I got that on the old DJ loop in case I need it. Dun, 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 dun.
I imagine, I just keep picturing getting a text from Brian that's just
pissed,
blood everywhere, like he murdered something.
I've killed my computer.
I'm getting messages. Gotta hit. He's just commenting in the chat now.
Gotta hit technology. It is 10 o'clock. We've typically done a 2-hour show. Cody, I don't know if you want to keep hanging in there to wait for Noonan to come back, or if we want to conclude the broadcast today. Maybe Noonan can tell us in chat.
What? I wasn't listening to you.
I said we usually do about a 2-hour show. It is 10 o'clock. We've hit the 2-hour mark. I don't know if we want to close the program out or try to get Noonan back for some. Remember, I still have the account, so just so I'm not there tonight, I'll be back. Well, Noonan, we can close the broadcast. We can thank everybody for being here. Be very grateful to do another quarantine cast on the Brian Noonan Show, or actually, it's the quarantine cast with Brian, Cody, and Craig. Maybe at some point renamed the Craigantine Cast. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll do my hair at some point, so it's not this whatever is happening.
You said you're out of hair gel. What hair gel do you use? I think
Kevin Murphy Knight Rider.
Have you told people before? Has this come up before? I imagine.
I don't know. No, this is very not okay.
Okay.
So very, as they would say in Heathers. Yeah, no, that's awful. I'll fix it. I'm working on it.
All right. So we're gonna get out of here. Brian has had technical issues, so he's uncomfortable with the show. Cody has hair issues, so he's uncomfortable with the show. I've had a great time. I've enjoyed being here.
Your hair is always perfect. You don't have any hair. I saw on the Facebooks.
Yeah. I know. No, the hair. Well, it's coming back. I mean, I can take it off. That's my hair.
Okay.
But I think I'm going bald, Cody.
Why?
You want to? Should we inspect this seriously into the I think this area here is bad, and then I think there's some crownage that I have problems with.
I think you crowned a long time ago, Craig.
No, I think I'm still crowning. I think I'm definitely still crowning.
It happens when you're
0
years old.
Still doing it. Still crowning.
All right.
I'm gonna fly to India and get hair transplants because India it's cheaper. I don't know if you know that.
Is it?
It is. It's much cheaper. You can do the whole head for a fraction of the cost in the United States. I don't know if it's the same quality, but I hear India is the place to go if you want to get the plugs.
Huh.
Yeah. This has been a good quarantine cast. I am Craig Collins. That's Cody Goff. Brian Noonan.
He didn't plug the stuff. Brian's always plug your stuff.
Brian's back.
Plug something, Craig. Where can people find the Craig and Betty podcast starring Betty?
Starring predominantly Betty. It's called Avoiding the Chancla. You can find it on any of the podcast platforms. Yeah, chancla's a shoe. I'm trying to avoid them. Huh?
How do you spell that?
Chancla? Chancla. Chancla. Avoiding the Chancla. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast predominantly. I'm trying to get on Spotify.
Stitcher? No, Stitcher is the worst podcast app.
Why? I like Stitcher. I like the Stitcher.
No, you're wrong. You say Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your dumb podcast.
Spotify's picky and choosy, though. Spotify's resisting me a little bit.
You're not on Spotify?
Trying to get on Spotify. They haven't approved it yet.
You don't try to get on Spotify. You just give them an RSS, and then they're like, "We will ingest your feed," and then you're on there.
I gave them my RSS, and I'm waiting for them to approve my
They
RSS.
put Joe Rogan on Spotify. They will put the chocolate.
Maybe if
cat.
you didn't use Spanish words.
Yeah. You know, Spotify, by the way, Joe Rogan is the most popular podcast in existence. I think that, I'm competing with that. So we're trying to get on the Spotify and the
Wait a minute,
iHeartRadio
did you
app.
just say you're competing with Joe Rogan?
Well, if I'm getting on Spotify, isn't that what I'm trying to do?
You think you could beat him on a fight?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I can beat him in anything. I'm not even on Spotify. We've been over this.
But you're trying.
Right. I'm on Google because Google just pulls RSSs like Cody said. I'm on Stitcher.
Hey,
I'm on iTunes.
If it's okay with you guys, and I know I'm only 1/3 of the three-headed monster, we're not going to save this. I'm not going to download this audio from tonight.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
Well, no, we could. I guess we could edit it. You guys know how to edit. I know how to edit.
We could, but the people who've been here want it to be special. So we're going to let it
Do
stay
they?
special with them.
Do they want it to be special?
That's my vote. I'm 1/3.
You are 1/3. You are 1/3.
Cody?
I'm in favor of not doing any work. So
That's true.
whatever.
Well, listen. Now I came back just to try to wrap this up this night
All right, go
because I
ahead.
have a feeling you two. I see it. I see the power grab already with you two.
I was trying to wrap it up.
I was trying to help him try to wrap it up.
I know. Listen, I understand. I've been around you guys a long time. You forget who you're talking to.
We're on the Brian Noonan Show page. I think
No,
we know who's in power.
Well, no, yeah, but we can listen. Should we? Once we can change the name and create our own page.
No. I want it. I want the Brian Noonan Show's got a great audience.
Yeah.
Bigger than mine.
No, we're not making a new Facebook page. We're absolutely capitalizing on your popularity.
Well, that's
And
fine. And
We are
then
willing to call it the Brian Teen Cast with the other guys.
I have no following. So
I don't
yeah.
want to do that.
On the Twitter, Cody, apparently you have a hell of a following. I hope you're sharing.
I
Yeah,
do.
Cody, I heard you. You know, you're not a shit person like you called everybody else.
Is that what I said?
Basically.
Yeah, I felt like a shit person.
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah,
do
no,
too.
I'm a few thousand away from that. You guys are way further.
I've changed my Twitter to @shitperson, by the way.
Wow. Wow. This is a family-friendly podcast. All right. Ready for radio broadcast.
After 10 o'clock, it's safe harbor.
When is Sirius XM going to start picking us up? Seriously. That's all I want to know.
I have a
Hopefully next
connection.
week.
If we want to
Do
be on the
you?
Rural Radio Network, yeah.
We could be on Faction Talk. That's the station for us.
No, I think we're going to go Rural Radio Network.
We
What's
can do that.
Action Talk?
Faction Talk is where they have like the funny like Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, the Benton Show, Jason Ellis.
Well, I'm pretty proud that I'm on this podcast, and I think you guys are too. Why don't we call it the Proud Boys podcast?
Wow, 3 proud boys.
Yeah,
That might be it.
the three proud boys in their podcast. And
Okay.
that
3
then
Proud Boys,
Spotify
no
will definitely
chicks.
say yes.
All right. Can we go Poor Boys? I'd rather be the Poor Boys.
But then we
I'd
have to
rather
eat
get a
sandwiches
po'
every
boy.
week.
I think every week Brian should go to New Orleans and send us all po' boys in the U.S. mail, and then we
There's a good
eat.
chance. There's a good chance I'm going to listen. The connection couldn't be any worse than it is now.
That's pretty good. Now it's okay.
During a hurricane, I probably could have broadcast better than I did today.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm down for the podcast in which I get a po' boy sent to me in the U.S. mail and I eat it during the recording of the show. I accept that premise. I'm in.
Mhm.
That's the overhead on that alone is going to be high.
Hey,
But I will
suburban
tell
Christian-
you, it's not impossible because Goldbelly sends Parkway Po' Boys.
I don't think
So
you get.
if
I don't
if
think
we
you get
want
the
to have
humor.
a po' boy, if we want to have a po' boy episode, we could
Yeah.
order po' boys.
I don't think you get the humor of the podcast, Noonan. I think you want to send me a very expired po' boy. I think it needs to go bad for the
Well,
podcast.
if you want, then I'll have
successful.
Molly drive one up at Thanksgiving, and then we'll mail it from here. So it'll be a 14-hour car ride,
Okay.
and then the mail.
Yeah, and you gotta stuff it in like a letter envelope. I want it to be
Yeah.
sent poorly.
And I'll make sure she gets you the fried oyster one, so it's nice when it gets to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna die on the next episode. That's what's
It's going to be fun. It couldn't be any worse than what I did today.
Oh, that's fine. Oh
Well,
man.
Cody, it's nice to have you back. whether your hair is gelled or not.
Thank you.
I'd prefer it gelled.
I would prefer gelled too.
Yeah, really.
But I have to get some. I have to get.
Oh no. we didn't want this. No.
What if,
Don't be drunk, robot.
Craig, when are you coming out? Are you still coming through the Chicago area in the next couple of weeks?
No, actually, Betty's flying out of Bloomington.
Oh, all right. Oh, you're not doing that thing. You're not doing that drive you were going to maybe do.
I was just gonna do it for the fun of it, but we no longer have to. Noonan might be back.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You're kind of back.
Hello, bro.
Let's just say good night. Can we say good night?
Good night.
We'll talk to you next week. Thanks
Yep.
for putting up with this. Good to have you back, Cody. Great to see you, Craig.
Mhm.
Everybody, you've been lovely. This has been whatever the hell this has been. But we'll talk to you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Cheers, blokes.